Right friends, welcome back to part 2. We have discussed certain aspects under part 1, and under part 2 let us start with what are the issues in budget with regard to corporate sector. No lowering in tax rates for big companies. The finance minister last year stated that the corporate tax will be brought down from 30% to 25% in 4 years, and exemptions granted to industrial sector will also be phased out in due course. And for this year, for big corporates, this tax is retained at 30%, but 1% cut in corporate taxes for small firms up to rupees 5 crore turnover. That means the companies up to rupees 5 crore turnover have to pay tax at 29%, and at the same time all the new manufacturing companies which will be incorporated from April 1, 2016 will be taxed at 25% provided they do not claim any exemption. Then general anti-avoidance rules, properly known as GAAR, will be introduced from 1st April 2017 as scheduled, and this will track the capital gains of foreign institutional investors, and foreign portfolio investors are fearing about two things for the past several years. One is participatory notes, then second one is general anti-avoidance rules. Government, due to one reason or the other, is postponing these two issues. This GAAR was for the first time planned to be implemented somewhere around 2010, but because of the reasons best known to the government, this is being deferred from time to time. And at the same time, government is also not serious about participatory notes. Participatory notes are the conduit for round tripping for black money, right? Somehow government is not serious about both the GAAR as well as participatory notes, and government now stated that this will be implemented from 1st April 2017 as scheduled. Then, as we have already discussed, direct tax dispute resolution scheme so as to take care of retrospective taxation, because foreign investors are not happy with retrospective taxation regulations brought in the year 2012, and so as to solve this, government brought direct tax dispute resolution scheme, and 100% deductions in tax for startups was given between April 16 to March 19 as announced during Startup India Stand Up India program on January 16th this year. And if you look at banking and financial sector, as per the budget speech, monetary policy committee will be formed so as to ensure transparency in monetary policy. Second is the government stake in IDBI Bank will go below 50%. That means IDBI Bank will be privatized shortly. Then another important point is, as announced previously, rupees 25,000 crores will be given as capital infusion in public sector banks. But public sector banks says that it is not enough. Then 100% FDI in asset reconstruction companies through automatic route. Then operationalization of a bank's board bureau, already it is commissioned, and listing of 4 general insurance companies in stock exchanges. All of you are well aware there are 4 government general insurance companies, and these will be listed in stock exchanges. And if you look at the reforms in FDI, 100% FDI through FIPP route in marketing of food products produced and manufactured in India, because in India, in agriculture, the biggest challenge is marketing of food products. Lot of vegetables and fruits are wasted in interior rural areas because of a lack of proper infrastructure. Then investment limit of foreign entities in Indian stock exchanges increased from 5% to 15%. Now, foreign investors can invest up to 15% in stock exchanges like BSE or NSE, FDI in insurance and pension sectors up to 49% through automatic route, 49% is already there, but now it is made automatic route. Then foreign portfolio investment limits in central public sector enterprises other than banks listed in stock exchanges will go up to 49%. Directly, foreign portfolio investors can invest up to 49% in central public sector enterprises like BHEL or NTPC. Then foreign direct investment in asset reconstruction companies 100% through automatic route. So, these are the further changes proposed in FDI. All of you are well aware, government around 2-3 months ago announced radical changes in FDI policy, and these are supplementary proposals to those radical changes. And for startup firms, 100% deduction of profits for the next 3 financial years. Then no capital gains tax is applicable if the funds are invested in notified fund of funds by individuals in specific startups. Then another important point is tax on royalty income from patents developed and registered in India at 10% only. So, royalties because of some innovation will be taxed at 10% only, and this may facilitate registration of intellectual property rights in our country only, as the tax will be only 10%. And if you look at allocations for key programs, social sector including health and education 1,51,000 crores. Then agriculture and farmers welfare 35,000 crores, then rural sector 87,000 crores, infrastructure 2,21,000 crores. There is substantial increase for agriculture and farmers welfare, rural sector and infrastructure sector. Then recapitalization of public sector banks at rupees 25,000 crores. Then another important aspect is rupees 20,000 crores for a long-term irrigation fund with NABARD, so as to create more irrigation facilities. And please don't forget, government already planned 28.5 lakh hectares to bring under irrigation facilities under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Then rupees 6,000 crore for sustainable groundwater table management. Then rupees 15,000 crores interest subvention for farmers. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana allotment 19,000 crores. For Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, it is 5,500 crores. It will be landmark insurance program for farmers. Then Mahatma Gandhi Narega at 38,500 crores. Then Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan rupees 655 crores. Then rupees 2,000 crores for initial cost for providing LPG to below poverty line families. Then rupees 900 crore price stabilization fund. This will be used for stabilization of prices when there is a shortfall. Now we are facing shortfall of pulses, and under those circumstances this price stabilization fund will be used. Last year it was 500 crores, this year it is 900 crores. Then disinvestment in public sector undertakings is 56,500 crores. Last year it was 69,500 crores. Now it is reduced and kept at 56,500 crores of rupees. And last year's target could be met only up to 1/3. And we have to wait and see whether the government will meet this year's target of 56,500 crores. Disinvestment is selling government's stake in public sector enterprises by maintaining at least 51% stake. And other important aspects in the budget, amount to be dispersed under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana increased to rupees 1,80,000 crores, so as to give impetus to MSME sector. Then rupees 25,000 crores, as we have already discussed, for recapitalization of public sector banks. Then digital literacy scheme will cover 6 crore households in rural India over the next 3 years. Then on pilot basis, direct benefit transfer for fertilizer subsidy will be tried this year. Then agriculture credit increased from rupees 8.5 lakh crore to rupees 9 lakh crore. Then, as we have already discussed, irrigation facilities for 28.5 lakh hectares under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Mahatma Gandhi Nareka allocation at rupees 38,500 crore. Then under Mahatma Gandhi Nareka, 5 lakh farm ponds in rain-fed areas and 10 lakh compost pits for production of organic manure. These two are basically with a view to ensure rain harvesting as well as organic farming. Right? Then under Stand Up India, 2.5 lakh entrepreneurs, basically SC/ST category and women category will be developed. Then 3,000 stores under Jan Aushadhi Yojana. These are generic medicine stores and government wants to give big push for generic medicines. Medicines will be available at cheaper prices. These are under Jan Aushadhi Yojana. Then most important aspect is National Dialysis Services Program under National Health Mission through public-private partnership model. And if you look at the expenditure on health in India, it is 1.3%. Please look into this. For advanced countries like UK and USA, it is around 8% and we are lagging behind at 1.3%. And this National Dialysis Service Program assumed significance because it will benefit the patients with renal failure, and rupees 100 crore each for birth centenary celebration of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay and 350th birth anniversary of Guru Govind Singh, and 62 new Navodaya Vidyalayas will come up. Right friends, finally, if you look at the positive aspects and negative aspects, positive aspects are more push for agriculture and rural development. It is the only way for the government to win the hearts of the people. Then electricity in rural areas, as government stated that all the villages will be electrified by 1st May 2018, and road connectivity to rural areas. Government stated all the villages will be connected by roads by 2019. So, with the rural electricity as well as road connectivity to all the villages, then rural areas will come into the mainstream. Then most important aspect is sticking to fiscal roadmap of 3.5% fiscal deficit for 2016-17. This will result in increased confidence of foreign investors on India. Then fourth important aspect is legislative framework for DBT, so as to take India towards a much desired JAM, so as to eliminate leakages, because through JAM, direct benefits can reach directly into the bank accounts, no duplication, no leakages. Then high focus on infrastructure through public investment. It is the need of the hour because our exports are falling and private investment is not taking off on expected lines. Then due to reforms, FDI is expected to increase further. It has already increased substantially in recent times. More impetus to affordable housing because having a house is the dream for several citizens of the country. Then the ultimate policy is tax the rich, benefit the poor is the mantra in present day rich poor divide, and government is able to implement this theory to some extent. So these are all the positive aspects, and overall it is the budget for common man of India and areas of concern. Interesting aspect about 2015-16 is there is a shortfall of direct taxes by around 45,000 crores of rupees. In 2015-16, if you compare budget estimates and revised estimates, there was a shortfall of rupees 45,000 crores basically under direct taxes, that is personal income tax as well as corporate tax. That means income tax and corporate tax not lived up to the expectations, especially corporate sector. And finally, what the government has done? It met that shortfall by increasing excise duty drastically on petroleum products. Common man is not able to know about this increase because worldwide petroleum products have fallen drastically. government, instead of passing on benefit to the common man, imposed excise duties several times, and accordingly it realized more than 76,000 crores in excess of budgetary estimates. That means the shortfall in direct taxes was met by increase in indirect taxes in the year 2015-16, but it is not known to the common man because of sole reason petroleum products across the world are in decline drastically. And second point is, during 2016-17 proposals, if you look at, direct taxes are retained almost at the same level in comparison to revised estimates of 2015-16, but indirect taxes will go up by around 20,000 crores, and finally after 1 year you will see that indirect taxes, especially taxes on petroleum products, will increase further. That means government is resorting to more indirect taxes than direct taxes. This is not the right way of taxing the people, because indirect taxes will affect both the rich and poor alike, and due to indirect taxes, the common man also will be affected. So the ultimate point is, government's reliance on indirect taxes is not acceptable, and government should resort to getting more income through direct taxes in future. Then rupees 38,500 crore for Mahatma Gandhi Narega is not that high as claimed, because several arrears are to be paid, and allotment for ICDS at rupees 15,000 crores is also not much, because ICDS will take care of the nutritious needs of children of 0 to 6 age group. Then rupees 15,000 crore interest subvention was merged into allocations for agriculture from Finance Ministry. Hence, if you subtract this 15,000 crores, then the increase for agriculture is not that high as claimed in budget documents. Then health cover of rupees 1 lakh and national dialysis service program may ultimately benefit the private sector if it is not implemented properly, because these are proposed to be implemented through PPP mode. In the budget, this national dialysis service program is proposed to be implemented on PPP model, and at the same time health cover of 1 lakh will also benefit private hospitals, because in public sector the hospital network is not well developed in our country, and healthcare in public sector should be taken care of instead of going for PPP models. So these are the areas of concern. First and the foremost important point is, getting more revenue from indirect tax proposals is not acceptable. Second is, the social sector allocations are not that high as claimed by the government. Then this health cover of 1 lakh and national dialysis service program may ultimately benefit the private sector in health, and the need of the hour is to develop world-class facilities in health in public sector. So these are the areas of concern. And finally, if you want the budget to be classified in one sentence, all said and done, it is a budget with the focus on common man. So it is common man's budget. Right friends, I hope you enjoyed these budget lectures. Have a nice day. Thank you.